Welcome back to the channel and to the new Park Who Dis contest. Each and every submission gets its own spotlight, and today we are looking at Radyr Valley by PJB Studios. Today I'm joined by Iron Matty. Iron Matty is one of the biggest Planet Coaster content creators for console, releasing regular park spotlights, park build series, and creator of a wonderful Planco community of his own, the Iron Gamers. Hello, Matty.
Hello. Are you alright?
Hello. That was a very tame hello from you.
I'm sorry. Hello. Ooh, there you go.
that was so loud that Discord muted it. So I need you to find the middle ground, please.
Hello.
Okay, you're wonderful. So PJB says, "Welcome to Radyr Valley, where they say all is not well. The curse of the Raven has turned the valley into a ghost town for 999 haunts to spook all day. In Dibley Manor, Lady Dibley's ghost causes chaos, and around the enchanted swamp she lurks. The woodcutters have been possessed in the dark forest to chop more than just wood, and a scientist's experiments take a turn for the worst. Will the curse of the Raven overcome you? Well, you're about to find out. That's if you dare to buy a ticket." He told me to do that. The retheme was difficult, but I like a challenge, and I'm happy how it turned out. The park covers horror, dark fairy tales, and utter chaos stories. On the PJB Studios YouTube channel, you can find the speed build of the whole of Radyr Valley. Good luck, our ghostly friends are dying to meet you. PJB and 999 haunts. Lovely introduction.
Wow. I love that. He's put so much thought and effort into that intro. Not just like kind of the park building, but just the intro and the storytelling. I'm excited to get into it now.
Yeah, me too. So, starting with piece count. Wow, that was quick. Jeez. We are under 10k, that's the lowest I've had so far, and I've recorded over 20 spotlights. 9,927.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's very impressive. That's effectively only just like, what, 3 blueprints?
I mean, about 4,000 of that is probably yours as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the car park itself is... let's have a look. Car park. Yeah, the car park is just over 2,000 on its own. Yeah, I'm impressed with that because it's not looking sparse.
Not by any means. It looks amazing.
Yeah, so look forward to getting stuck into this. This is Park Variation Juliet, which means we've got the River Rapids, the Spinning Coaster, 360 Power, and the Insanity, giving us the Spooky theme. We've of course got at least one coaster. The Dark Ride is still in position over here, and the Swan, our listed building, is still in place. So without further ado, let's hop down on the ground. And here we are outside Radyr Valley. Cheeky plug there, PJB Studios on YouTube. Go and give him a sub.
He's a great YouTuber, really entertaining. I highly recommend going and subbing to him.
Well, there we go, Matty approved.
I would also sub to this guy called Moomin Little Socks as well. He's quite good as well.
Sounds terrible. Look at this entrance. And
it looks very spooky.
It does. The flickering lights within as well. And obviously the name being a play on Radyr Valley, Radyr Valley. Lovely stuff. The first aid building's been transformed as well. We might be needing that by the sounds of the woodcutters have gone rogue. Oh,
wow. Look at the lighting.
Yeah. So that's the thing that stands out the most immediately. I mean, these spotlights are so great with the beams that they create. You can do so much with them.
They're so versatile, aren't they? That coaster looks awesome as well. That coaster looks ace.
That's a Gerstlauer lift, isn't it?
I believe so.
Where should we head? Matty?
Let's go left. Tradition never fails. We always go left.
Right. That's true. And we're met with this delightful theming. Great use of those spooky trees.
I'm not sure that delightful is the right word.
No. Well,
so much as horrifying and terrifying.
Some people love the spooky aesthetic.
It looks awesome.
It does. All very beautifully uplit as well, just adding to those spooky vibes.
I'm glad you're with me, Moon. I'm quite scared in this park.
You're always scared.
I'm always scared. I'm just a wuss.
What are you going to do with you, really? Let's head over this bridge, which is lovely. I always love it when a bridge goes over a track.
I like how he's put the entrance and the exit going next to the old restaurant as well.
Also loving this, more Great lighting
Yeah.
coming from behind that witch's house.
That's just what I was going to say. I'm just blown away by the lighting. It's just so ambient, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Time for some rapids. I became very familiar with that track because I used it in my Isle of Scorth series. So, very familiar with the track length and the intro and the outro, and yeah, it timed perfectly as we came back into the station, and I thought that was always an impressive thing to do with the music, and it just added to the ambiance of this whole ride. The atmosphere throughout was wonderful. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, great ride. I loved that. I think the immersion was top notch. Really felt enclosed in the ride. Very eerie as it went around. Nice little layout. Good duration. Yeah. Why were the guests wearing sunglasses? Idiots. It's night time.
Idiots.
Idiot. But other than that, yeah, great ride.
Nice hidden facade here. Not obvious, but enough, but just there to hide the facilities at the back. And the witch's house has the scaffolding around the back, as it would do. So lovely touches of realism there. Right, let's investigate this. My poor food court has been ripped apart. So we've got the foods upstairs.
Moving.
Very,
Moving.
Shut up.
Moving.
Be quiet. I'm going over here. Very unstaffed, unfortunately, but yeah, I like this. Just taken the roof off completely and made it all little wooden shacks instead. But let's see what's happening downstairs, because it looks like we've got a queue going down here now.
Looks like Harry Potter in here.
It does, yeah. I don't even know what's going to be at the end of this queue. It's the Magic Twirl, which fits in this park perfectly.
Yeah, perfectly fit. Nicely placed as well. Hidden away at the back.
It is, yeah. Surrounded by more of these spooky trees, keeping it consistent and cohesive. We do love some cohesion, don't we, Matty?
Oh, we do indeed. Nice use of foliage around the ride as well. Just with the weeds and the vines just coming around, just adding to that eeriness.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's quite an art to using the right foliage. Combining the right foliage can go a long way, and PJB has done that here. And a great way of repurposing the former Big Bite food court. Shut up.
Moving.
Excuse me. Nice. Graves, pumpkin patches, all your stereotypical spooky stuff, and my goodness, what's she up to? So I'm assuming that is linked to the ride, and she's triggered.
Oh yes. Slap them!
What have we got here? It's busy, whatever it is.
It's not a teacup, son.
Well, it might be. Might be some
It's
really
not a
good teacups.
The teacups never get used. There'll be like 3 guests on it.
It's true. But you'll place down a Lunar Autos, and that's where everybody in the park is.
Oh yes, this is probably what this is.
Yeah, probably. It's a track ride.
This the dark ride.
It's Dibley Manor, our dark ride. Are you excited? Are you scared?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm just going to watch from behind a pillow.
Yeah, I think that's wise, Matty. I'll tell you what's going on.
Okay.
Time for our dark ride.
Wow, what a ride that was. That was really, really impressive. I think you can see how much effort is put into this. The amount of triggered effects that were going on, which are never easy. It's never something that I've been able to do very well as triggered effects. And there's just so many of them going on in this ride. Just fantastic. I love the bit where it was going through all the doors and you had all the doors opening. I think that was a really nice effect that I don't think I've really seen done before, certainly in that manner. Yeah, I think it was a great job. I really enjoyed it. What about you, Moomin? What did you think?
Well, my question was, does Lady Dibley have enough bloody doors? Jesus.
Knock, knock.
Yeah, I think the thing that stood out for me was the amount of cliche dark ride tropes that PJB included. It's got this is such a great element where you spin around the centerpiece a couple of times before moving on. The door effect is always a great one, and then the trip outside at the end is always a nice one. You've been trapped inside, and then you suddenly get burst out into the outdoors with this graveyard. Yeah, I think that's such great elements, and it's also very clear that PJB loves his realism aspects. Something that obviously I adore. So you always got the trussing and the lighting, and I've seen some emergency exits. When you're using these effects here, instead of actually just sinking them below the ground, having them a tiny bit above, just to keep that realism aspect. A lovely little dark ride. And just behind us we have the Swan, which has been taken over with vines and more vines.
It looks like The Last of Us.
It does, yeah. Yeah, it's being slowly taken over.
Oh, it's called the Swamp.
Swamp. Very clever. Trying to work out what it said. Yeah, that's just kind of reiterating that vibe of nature taking over. Lovely. Great way of dealing with the listed building. The Psychola here. And he did mention something about a scientist. Lovely. Which brings us to our spinning coaster. And this is looking a bit deadly, isn't it?
It is. Get your hair cut as you queue up.
Exactly. This is giving me Saw vibes. but I think that's probably
Yeah,
good due to the
very much.
saws. Let's head down the queue. Do we get our haircut here? Oh no,
Oh
so
no,
we
we
get our
got it on the
haircut
ride.
on the ride. Efficient. Valley Wood Company. Oh wow, look at this
Oh
station.
wow.
It's a bit terrifying, isn't it?
It looks awesome and horrifying in equal measure.
It does. Yeah, this is a lovely station. Okay, without further ado, let's hop on our spinning coaster.
Well, that was a bit intense.
It was a bit chaotic, but still enjoyed it. And your new haircut looks great, by the way, Matty.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was manic, but it was super fun, and I did feel like I was being chased by these rogue woodcutters.
I maybe would have just slowed the lift hill down so slightly, because I think the ride may have just gone maybe just a couple of miles an hour too quick, possibly. Or maybe just lower it down just slightly, because there was a couple of little moments where it may have just spun a little bit too much, maybe just a little bit too erratic. But the layout is fantastic. I think maybe if either the lift hill was slowed down or just dropped, even by a meter or two, I think that would rectify the problem. Because everything else was perfect. That prison fence going around is awesome. I love that.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I love the fact that the whole ride area has been dropped down. Only by a few meters, but it just makes a bit of a makes a lot of difference. Gives it a completely different aesthetic.
Yeah, definitely.
The woodcutters have clearly done a good job because there's no trees left. So that was the saw. Great fun. A bit terrifying, really.
Oh, look at that sightline.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much to look at everywhere. But yeah, that element looks fantastic there.
Oh, that looks awesome, doesn't it?
It does. Lit beautifully. And round the corner brings us to our Insanity. Oh, nice shot of the coaster in the background there. Very spoopy. The swamp trees go a long way with this theme.
Yeah, I really like the theming around this. It's just quite simple and elegant. Really fits the theme of the area and the whole park as a whole.
It does.
Yeah, it looks great. And I love the colour choice, the blood red with the lighting.
Most of the time in Planko, you want to go for a very soft ambient light, but sometimes when you do saturate things like this red here, it works really well. Scusi.
Beep,
Excuse me.
beep, coming through.
We've got ourselves another coaster. Oh, so this is our Gerstlauer. Let's do it, Matty.
Let's do it.
Whiplash.
We just died as we came into the station.
Yeah, and that is it. Moomin Little Socks and I and Matty are now dead. Well, that was great fun. There was so many great moments in that. I mean, the lift hill itself is such a key feature of the park. I love the stall here. This drop down into the pits of fire and water. That was fantastic. The only thing I say is some of it was a little bit rigid. As you come around the corners, so maybe a touch of smoothing. But besides that, it was good fun. And maybe some more braking before coming into the station to save my back. My poor back.
No, it'll be fine. What are you on about? Just a bit of whiplash. It'll be all right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you said. For me, that was the ride of the park. I think it's clearly the main attraction of the park. It's the main focal point. It's the one that's the most lit up. It was just really nice coaster, but as you said, maybe just a little bit of tad smoothing, bit of extended brake run. I love the way it leaves the station and it banks to the right. Always a unique feature, very unique, and I just love like that bank right then coming up to that first lift hill. I thought that was great, and the theming was spot on, absolutely spot on, fantastic. Yeah, great job.
So we'll just have a little fly around at daytime just to show it off, and still looking great at day.
Yeah, I think in the daylight you can really see the amount of foliage work that he's done, and like just how much smoke effects there are in rock work, which is fantastic. I think it looks equally as good at day as it does at night. Even though the night lighting is amazing, it looks really good in the day as well.
Bold statements from Matty today.
Oh yes.
I had a lot of fun in this park. Looking at it now from above, it's so clear the different elements and areas as PJB talked about in the introduction. You've got the mad scientist, you've got Lady Dibley, was it? And all the elements, and obviously the woodcutter over there by the saw ride. It's consistent, and it keeps that story going throughout, and you do feel part of the world that he's created.
Yeah, I absolutely loved this park. I'm a big fan of PJB's work in the past, and he certainly didn't disappoint this time. The night lighting is exceptional. I think the coaster work was certainly, maybe just with the little few tweaks just here and there, would be absolutely fantastic. I just loved it. I think the ambience of the entire park and the theming was spot on. Just a great job. And just before we finish off the spotlight, I just want to say a huge thank you to Moomin as well, because this is, even though chronologically there will be more videos with me upcoming, this is actually the last one we're filming together for this series. So I just wanted to say thank you ever so much, Moomin, for having me along. It's been an absolute blast. What has it been, 8 parks we've looked at? Something like that,
yeah.
It's been an absolute blast. I've enjoyed every single one of them. So yeah, thank you ever so much for having me along. People are like,
stop it, I'm going to get emotional, Matty.
Don't. I've got tissues right next to me. But yeah, great park and a great series.
No, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you on board, and as you said, even though this is the last one and this will make zero sense to anybody else, it's been wonderful having you on board, and thank you very much. I'd like to say a huge thank you to I Am Matty for joining me today. Make sure you keep tabs on your favourites ready for the public vote after all submissions have been showcased. Don't forget to like this video, not only to support me, but to show some love to today's creator. Catch you in the next one.